everyone. Thank you for coming back to my channel. And today I'm going to give you my income report for the month of May. I know that things have been very slow for some people in KDP because of the situation that's going on in the world. And I know that, for example, here in the UK, Amazon had very long delivery dates for books, and it slowed people down a little bit. People weren't buying as many books as they used to because of this. And yes, things were a little bit slow, but I think that things must be improving now because things are becoming a lot better. I'm quite happy this month because considering everything that's going on in the world, this month hasn't been too bad for me. And I think it's getting better. I can see that sales are starting to pick up. So I'll show you exactly what I made this month. Let's have a look. So let's click on last month, which is the month of May. So in May, I created $1,271.27. And as you can see, I only have 390 books to do that with. So I'm quite happy because I feel that that's not a bad result for the amount of books that I have. Now, let me explain a little bit though. First of all, also I want to mention that this is created without any Amazon ads. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to do ads in future. I will read up on ads and I will find out more about them, educate myself, and then probably do some ads in the near future and just try them out. But at the moment, like I said, this is generated without any ad spend. So that is pure profit. When I say pure profit, there is a few things that I spend money on. I do spend money on some software or some tools to help me create the books, and I will make a video about what I use, but it's really not a lot of money and I think it's well worth the investment. When you think about it, there are really two business models in KDP. Actually, there are three, but the two main business models is number one, make as many books as possible. And in the hope that if you make a lot of books, a lot of them will sell. That's the first one. The only problem with that is that to create a lot of books, you really don't spend so much time on research because you're spending most of your time on creating the books. And I find that a lot of the times that people take that business model, the quality of the books is not that great. What do I mean by that? Well, if you have a look on Amazon and you do your research on books, you come across a lot of notebooks, lined notebooks, and a lot of them have the same cover and they just change one word. So, I don't know, a very simple example would be just a girl that likes cats. Then they'll have another one that says just a girl that likes chocolate, just a girl that likes coffee, just a girl that likes and something else. So they're just changing one word with the same cover. And that's not quality. I mean, sometimes it can be quality. It depends on the design. But generally speaking, that is just not. I mean, yes, someone might buy that book. And if you've got, I don't know, 3,000 books and you sell one a month, that's, and you make $1 on each book, that's $3,000. But I don't think that is the best way. But it works for some people. So, it's worth a try. And if it works for you, then great. For me, it's slightly different. I prefer quality over quantity. And what does that mean? That means that I spend a lot of time on research. And when I say I spend a lot of time on research, I research on Amazon and I look at what books people have created on Amazon. I check their BSR, I check how many they've sold, I look at the covers, what their design is like, what designs tend to sell, and then I look at the niches. I'm not afraid of competition. I'm not afraid of that. I feel that high competition means that a lot of people are buying those books and are looking for those books. So, and one of my best sellers is actually in a niche that's very high competition, but I still sell a lot of books because what I usually do is I look at a niche and then I look at the books that are selling well in that niche. I look at their feedback and their ratings, and I like to look at the negative feedback. And if people are writing something, for example, they're saying this book hasn't got enough space to write something, or this book, I like this book, but, and then they make a comment about what they would like to see in that book. So what you can do is you take those negative responses and you make a book that's better, and you make a book that is really helping them to find what they're looking for. So there was one journal, I think, where it said, I like this journal, but there's not enough space to write your to-do list. So make one that has a nice to-do list in it. Or I saw one, for example, it was a diary for mums, and one mother said that it wasn't really useful for her because the school year starts in September and ends in June. So she would have liked there to be a diary that starts in September and ends in June, something like that. So you can tell by the reviews what people are looking for or where you can improve things. So a high competition niche isn't necessarily a bad thing. I think they're great. You can still try and make a book and make it better than the other ones. And also think about, what would you buy? What kind of book do you need in your life, or what would you find helpful? This is all about helping people, really, because books sell if they're helpful, or if they're funny, they're entertaining, or if they're beautiful. So the covers are important, but they're not the most important thing. They're what draws your customer in. When they're looking at all the books on KDP, it really pays to have a cover that stands out. But it's not ultimately what makes the buyer buy your book. The interior has to be very good as well, and the interior has to be something that your buyer needs or wants, something that helps them, or something that they're buying as a gift for somebody. So if the cover is funny, I always say humor sells. If you've got a funny cover, people will buy that just to give as a present. And if they're spending less than $10 on a book, a lot of people do that. They buy something to give as a gift that's not very expensive, but it's funny, and and that's especially good for Q4 coming up now. So you have to start preparing for Q4. And the gift market is really good for that. So yes, I would say don't be afraid of competition. So the two business models is, first of all, quantity over quality is the first one. We said, as many books as possible, and then you sell some in each niche, and it adds up and you can make a good living that way. Or you do quality, not quantity, and that means you produce fewer books, but you do a lot more research and you create really good interiors and really good covers, and that takes more time. But I can guarantee you that you will sell more of those books than with the other business model. The other one, I said there were two business models, but really there's three. The other one is a mix of the two. You can do both. You can do quality over quantity and also have a few that are just quantity. So the way I started is I started doing lined journals, and I made a lot of mistakes because now I look at those books and I think, oh my God, no one is going to buy them. But funny enough, some of them are selling, so I don't understand how, but they are. So I would say start with lined notebooks just to learn how to upload, to learn how to make the covers, to learn how to make the interiors, to learn how to do your sizes. So lined notebooks are very good to start with. But then my recommendation is, once you've done a few lined books, start with low content, with something a bit better, something a bit more quality. Make planners, make diaries, make logbooks, make guest books, make baby books. Like, there's so many different things that you can make and create. Have a look on Amazon. Have a look. Always check the bestseller list, because you can get a lot of ideas. So that's my recommendation, on how to, or what business model to follow. Different things work for different people. So what works for me is not necessarily what's going to work for you. So try different things and then take the one thing that works for you and run with it, because it's different for every person. You may be good at different things that I'm good at. Some people are better at designing covers. Some people are really good at doing the interiors. Whatever your strengths are, just build on them and make that work for you. But the only way to find out is by creating books and by creating as many as you can. And then you can find out what is selling for you and what isn't. And I know this sounds like it's going to take a long time. And this really isn't a get-rich-quick way of earning money. This takes time. KDP, as anything that you can do online, nothing will create an income overnight. And anybody who tells you that they created an income in one day, I'm not sure how true that is, because someone might be lucky, but it doesn't work like that. You get rewarded for what you put in. So the one good thing about KDP is if you do the work, if you do your research, and if you make really good covers and good interiors, you do get the rewards. So this will only get better. Maybe some of the questions that you have would be, what are my books? Are they low content, no content? So I have to say they are a mixture of both. I started with no content, with lined journals, and then I created more low content. So there was some content in the books, and that is what I'm going to continue with mainly. I'm not going to be producing too many notebooks from now on. I might do some. Notebooks for me are more geared to a gift market. So to me, they're good for Q4 coming up. So if you want to produce some notebooks, make them funny, make them cover some good niches that people want to buy as gifts. So, that's one way of doing it. And the other thing is to do books with more content, which is the direction that I'm going to go in. So other questions that you might have is, do I produce any coloring books? Do I produce any activity books? I only have one coloring book, and I think I've sold 2 or 3 copies, that's all. So I haven't really got into the coloring book niche yet. And I said earlier that I'm not afraid of competition, but I'm not going to rush into a niche that everybody is rushing into at the moment. It feels to me like everybody's doing coloring books, everybody is doing puzzle books, everybody's doing activity books, and I haven't done any of that. And I think that if I can achieve the earnings that I've achieved without that, I will give coloring books and puzzle books a try, because I think I've got nothing to lose by trying. But I'm just enjoying making other type of books more. So this is something that you have to decide for yourself. What do you want to produce? I would say to you, start producing as many different things as possible, give it some time, and then whatever works for you, produce more of those. So for me, what's working is journals and prompted journals and logbooks. So that's what I will produce more of. And also, I forgot to say, children's books. Children's educational books like counting books, learning the ABC, learning the colors. Those kind of things are selling really well for me. So that's another thing that you could try. Now, what tools do I use? There are lots and lots of videos on YouTube suggesting different tools. There's Publisher Rocket, there's KDP Spy, there's a lot of tools, and I don't know about you, I've tried quite a few of them, and I feel like I've gone full circle, and I feel that after having tried them, I have to say that you can do the same without using those tools. And I have to be careful because I do use them. And I think what they help with is they make research take less time. They help with the research. They do help with the research. I'm not denying that. But can you do it without those tools? And the answer is yes, you can. I think the only thing you really need to do for your niche research is you need to look on Amazon. Check out the books that are already on Amazon. They can tell you everything you need to know. For example, if you want to find a niche, or you're deciding you have an idea and you want to create a Father's Day book, have a look on Amazon, type in Father's Day notebook, and then check out the competition. How many books are on there? How many views are they getting? How many sales are they getting? Where's the best seller? How many pages do they have? So that can tell you how many pages would be good for you to use. What size are they? What's the best size? Which ones are selling? Which ones are not selling? All the research is there. All the tools that you need are on Amazon. But there are tools that can help you do the work a little bit quicker. And the one that I will always recommend is Tangent Templates. And I said in a video before that I will make a video about it. I'm not being paid to say this because Tangent Templates haven't got an affiliate program. So I'm saying this because I really, really like Tangent Templates. It's the best thing, the best tool that I think in all of this business, that's the one thing that I couldn't live without. And can it be done without Tangent Templates? Yes, it can, but it's just so helpful and it makes your job so much easier. So that's one of the tools. And the other tool is the Amazon Suggestion Expander, which is a Chrome extension that you put on Google Chrome, and that helps as well. But none of those are absolutely necessary. I'm telling you this because I did most of my research without those tools to begin with. And it works anyway. So you can make a living, you can make money without having to use all those tools. You can make sales. But those tools just make life easier. And if you want to invest in them, that's great. And there's a lot of tools that I can recommend that make life easier, but that will be for another video. And in this video, I just want to let you know that this can be done just with researching on Amazon. There's nothing else you need, really. And anything you use extra is just to help you save time. So what are my plans going forward? I'm happy with how things are going because every day I feel that sales are going up now. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to create more books every day, and I am going to explore some new type of books. I will continue doing more children's activity books, not activity books, but children's learning books, like learning the ABC, learning the colors, learning the time, telling the time. There are so many, it's endless. The amount of things that you can teach children is endless, and that gives you an endless supply of niches, an endless supply of books that you can create. So that is one of the things that I really want to push going forward. I'm also preparing for quarter four. Quarter four is the pre-Christmas rush where everybody is buying lots and lots of presents, and that's going to be amazing, I think, this year. So start preparing for quarter four. Start creating books that people can give as gifts and make them really good quality so that they really stand out. What else am I going to do? I'm going to I'm going to go down the branding route. So I'm going to create a website for one of my pen names, and I'm going to start promoting my books, especially on Pinterest. If you haven't heard of Pinterest, it's a fantastic way to promote anything, really. Pinterest is still fairly undiscovered. It's not a social media platform, but it's a platform where everybody goes to have a look at things and to get ideas. And I found that Pinterest has been absolutely important when it comes to getting numbers for my blog, for my blogging business, and it's the same with KDP. So I'm going to try that, and I'll make some videos to show you how I do that. If you want to create a website for your books, you can also have a look at my videos on how to create a blog, because a blog is a website. It's the same thing, the same principle. So you can create a website very easily. And then I'm going to promote the books on the website and blog about them, and that hopefully will drive up my sales as well. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing puzzle books, activity books, coloring books. I'm going to join the bandwagon that everybody else is doing, and I'll keep you updated how this is going, because I was just unsure about coloring books and activity books and puzzle books, because they do take a lot more work to create. Because with coloring books, you can't just create something that somebody else has already created. It needs to be new. Like with a planner, for example, you can make a planner, an interior for a planner, and then make 10 different covers, and that's 10 books that you've created. With coloring books, you can't do that. You can't make one interior and then have 10 different covers, because that is terrible. Because imagine you're buying a coloring book and then you're seeing another coloring book. Oh, it's got a different cover, and you buy it, and it turns out it's the same coloring book that you bought before. So that would be a really bad customer experience. So I find that coloring books take more work and more time to create. So that's probably why I have hesitated to create them. I think I've got one coloring book. And it took me a long time to create, and I felt that I was maybe spending my time better in creating other books. But now that I am selling books regularly, I can spend more time on research, more time on creating books. So yes, I will be trying coloring books, puzzle books, and activity books, and see how that goes. And I'll keep you updated. So that's it for today, and I hope you learned something, and I hope there was something useful for you that you can try yourself. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Just put them down in the comments. I will try my best to reply. And I hope you all stay safe. So the only thing that's left for me to say is thank you very much for watching the video. Please don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell. I really, really appreciate you watching, and I hope that this has been useful for you and you have been inspired to do more books, to put in some more work. I know that some of you are probably working as well as creating KDP books, so don't be discouraged. Sometimes we have times where we think, I've put in so much work and I'm not getting a return, I'm not seeing anything happening. Don't worry, this happened to me as well. But if you put in the work, your rewards will come eventually. So don't give up. That's my main message to you today. Don't give up. You can do this as well. So I see you next time, and stay safe, and see you soon. Bye-bye.